Eve, the world's first quantum computer, was conceived and built in the same clandestine laboratory as the world's first satellite. But one of them became seriously flawed during an experiment that was supposed to self-destruct. Beyond Control is a sci-fi novel that chronicles the journey of three aging scientists who travel to the Complex, a private research and launch facility in Siberia, to regain control of a ruthless adversary of their own creation. Marked for death, they leave Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, survive a plane crash, a Trans-Siberian Railway derailment, and a fitful journey aboard a 53-year-old ironclad steam locomotive. Challenged by the unreality of the known and the reality of the unknown, and uncertain who is human and who only looks human, the Americans flee from the complex to the estate of a modern-day shogun in Kyushu. One of the scientists is not.
Oh, wow. Good job. I'm going to say just a one sentence about the performance of A Pitch. I think you have a wonderful story here. I think there's a market for this book. I mean, if you go to the science fiction section of this bookstore, I think it fits very nicely into the shelves there. I think that the story is interesting. The characters are good. The plot that you've woven for us. But what happens sometimes when you're doing a pitch, your voice sort of stayed on one level. And what happens for us as an audience, it sort of lulls us a little bit into a slightly lethargic state of mind. And if you notice, when someone's giving a great pitch, sometimes they'll be loud and fast, and sometimes they'll be soft and suspenseful. If I were you, I would practice this pitch over and over again until you really find out where the points where you can go fast and loud. Find out where the points are that you can go quiet a little bit. Because what happens is, when you are telling a story, that's what we're doing, we're all telling stories. And in a story, you notice when someone goes soft, everybody in the audience sort of leans forward. And there's a couple of points in there where I think it would be great to do that. The other thing that I would do if I were you is get some comp titles. Titles that are similar to your book but a little bit different. This will help an agent or an editor figure out people who read those books will read your book.
I thought this was a very good pitch, and the reason why I thought it was a very good pitch is because I really hate this genre, and I was interested in listening. So you really won me over with that, which is great. And one of the things that I liked about it is you were talking about very high-tech things, but you're also talking about old-fashioned low-tech things that in their journey, like the locomotive that they're on, etc. And I thought that was a really nice combination of different, what's the word? Help me out. No, of objects that you were dealing with, and I also the one thing that I would say is that we don't really know who the characters are, so we understand their journey, but not what's going on within each of them or what they are like. So I think with 2 sentences, and you do need to shave this a little bit, but I think you could establish who these characters are and why they're on this journey.
And I was compelled by the comment that we weren't sure, who's human and who isn't. So that kind of made me do and so maybe that could be, perhaps that's the theme of your book. So you might want to pull that up a little closer to the top, because that, I think, is very grabbing.
One thing that I thought of was that to do the passage of time, you call it a ruthless, I can't read it, ruthless adversary of their own creation. So those are the 3 guys going to track this down who are now old, were the young hotshots that made these things, right? So, you could start about that 3 young hotshot scientists, and now they're aging. And, I'm a doctor, so I think of these sort of things. So I'm going to tell you, one with a heart condition, one who's had a stroke and can't speak, one with an uncontrollable tremor, And I honestly thought, for me, the list of conveyances took too much time, and you weren't able to finish your whole pitch because of going through that list of conveyances. And what's going to interest a lot of people may be the idea of these older people with the wisdom of time confronting something that they were sort of young and stupid and ambitious enough to make. And that's interesting to people, I think.
Great job, thank you.
Oh, yes.
Yes, can this all be done in 1 minute is the question, and the answer resoundingly is yes, absolutely. I was a Hollywood screenwriter before I became a book writer, and I had occasion to pitch to Roger Corman, who was king of the B movies. And the guy who I pitched to told me something fascinating. When Roger Corman developed a movie, the first thing he did before a script was make the poster. And he said, who's on your poster? Who's the guy on the poster that's going to drive this movie? And I think that's what we're hearing here. Who is the hero? We need to know and fall in love with this hero. That's absolutely crucial to any book working, I think.